Welcome to Apathetic Weekend Update. I'm your host, Guy, who wants to try looking people in the eyes more when he talks to them, but only remembers to right before going to bed. Our top story tonight, chaos at a German homeopathy conference. Homeopathy being the science of not knowing what you're talking about, after guests were slipped doses of LSD, marking the first time anyone's been affected by drugs at a homeopathy conference, and the last time they try and compete with Burning Man. Moving on, there's been a lot of secrecy surrounding the identity of this year's James Bond antagonist, played by Christoph Waltz. However, this week, default name for a Sims character, Sam Smith, announced that he would be doing the movie's title track, making it clear the villain would be theaters overcrowded with white girls. On Sunday, a 4,500-year-old megalithic Superhenge was discovered buried just a mile away from Stonehenge, and said to include nearly 90 blocks, proving once and for all, the ancient times must have been boring as fuck. In cringier news, Nicole Arbour, self-proclaimed world sexiest comedian, which we all know is the most official decree of titles, was amid a controversy this week after uploading a video to YouTube called Dear Fat People. Now, the video in question contains a lot of ignorant this and that, which people lost their shit over. But let me ask you this. Isn't it just as ignorant to call what someone else believes ignorant? Oh. Okay. I'm being told that's not the case. Well then, that statement was all in the name of comedy. Yeah, what's that? Okay. I'm being told comedy needs punchlines, which is exactly what someone that didn't get my joke would say. Well, Trollroom's busy today. Okay. No, I understand. Apparently, you can get a joke and that joke can suck. Also, I just lost my gig choreographing for a body-positive movie. So in that case, I'm going to set my YouTube channel to private and claim it was censorship. Yeah, that'll show the liberals. Ugh. That last bit was too specific, wasn't it? I feel like a hacky Adam Reed script. Yo, how is this Reese's Puff cereal not more popular? In other news, Jerry Bance, a Canadian political candidate that was caught urinating in a client's coffee cup as a prank, officially said sorry for his actions on Monday. In related news, the coffee cup also said sorry, but didn't know why. Marijuana is a Class 1 substance and this is over the counter? Come on. Good news out of Birmingham, Alabama. I know that's a weird sentence to say. After its police force adopted nearly 300 body cameras, reports have seen a 71% drop in citizen complaints and a 38% drop in use of physical force. However, it may have something to do with the style of body cameras they're using. Kind of hard to commit crime when you're so sleepy. In more difficult to digest news, the Civil War in Syria rages on. A topic so grim, even comedically speaking, it's a bit of a quagmire. So joining us now to make light of a Syria situation, see what I did there? Apathetic Weekend Update's first comedian and, oh hey, I'm told pun specialist, Anto Chan. Anto?
Hey, great to be here.
Did you get that? Did you get my Syria pun?
What? Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I've read up a bit on the situation. It's pretty serious what's happened in the last few months.
Right? Serious.
At this point, nearly half the country's had to relocate due to ISIL's advances in places like Al-Qaryatan, Saddad.
Oh, okay, we're actually doing this.
Efforts by surrounding countries have been impressive to say the least, with places like Jordan and Lebanon taking in nearly 1 million each, Turkey taking in 2, even countries like Germany have stepped up to the plate, granting more than 800,000 people asylum. Is something wrong?
No, it's just all this is kind of a bummer. I was hoping you were gonna do some puns.
This isn't a time for jokes. People are being displaced. These Islamic extremists are ruining lives.
Okay.
A Syrian father lost his wife and 2 kids because they couldn't get refugee status quick enough. Is there anything funny about that? Wait, sorry, are you eating right now?
Yeah, some cereal.
That's a good one.
Yes. Anto Chan, everybody. This just in, the Freddy Krueger bit I did on the last Apathetic Weekend update was pretty dumb. Moving on, this week in a landmark case against the taxi industry, Queens Supreme Court Justice Alan Reese told yellow cab interests to compete with Uber or die. Little did they know, the justice also hates Uber, and that's just how he ends every case. Factory farmers compete with Uber or die. Wall Street bankers compete with Uber or die. Baby daddy shilling his ex on child support compete with Uber or die. Really, this is just the first time it's made sense. On Wednesday, Queen Elizabeth II became the longest reigning British monarch at 23,266 days, asterisk penicillin handicap. And that's it for your Apathetic Weekend update. If you want me to make more of these videos, or just keep me from going out in public every weekend, please comment below, share, maybe even subscribe. I've been your host, guy who spends half an hour crafting a text only to delete it in indifference and crippling self-doubt. Good night. Are you kidding me? I don't have any milk? Yeah.
Jesus!